And we are now back with more Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age Struggle for Freedom. This time we are just about to get ready to take on the Esper here that lies in King Wraithwall's tomb. Belias, I believe his name was. The Gigas, they call him. So pretty much here, I'm not going to be able to get into that much commentary because a lot of plot significance happens after we fight the Esper. But I will comment briefly, anyways, over the turn of events that happens here, and I'll also go over the battle strategy you can use against this Esper as well. It's about to come up right now, actually. Alright, so, Belias, he uses a lot of fire spells. He can also inflict oil on you, which makes, spells like fire, and then his super attack, Faraja, do a lot more damage. So, it's advisable you have plenty of handkerchiefs on you at this point. I'm also switching out for the Blood Sword because, if I can somehow land a sap, which I don't believe I do in this fight, because I think Esper immunity and stuff like that. But, oh yeah, I do land it. How about that? Yeah, sap will definitely wreck this boss, as long as you're able to dish up the pain. I also would recommend you bring Penelo with you and have her be using Cura when that happens, because again, some of his attacks can hurt if you're unprepared. But yeah, because of Sab, look how much damage has already been done to him. And there's Faraja. That can also inflict oil too. That's the attack that can inflict oil. So if you don't address that very soon, his fire attack is going to do at least 300 to 400 points of damage, which is quite high for a low tier spell. I mean, admittedly, I probably should have got a gambit ready just to be able to not have to always manually input the command. But at the same time, though, I have other gambits reserved for healing, attacking, and reviving. You know, the more general gambits that you should have all your characters be paired up with at this point. And I don't have that many gambit slots either. At least last time I checked, I didn't have any gambit slots. So it's just best to just roll with what you have, and then just adjust your game plan on the fly. Of course, the techniques like Expose or Wither also helps out, because it can at least decrease its physical attacks. And, ooh, yeah, right there for Roger. That can do at least 700 damage. And I think it's guaranteed to be hit with oil as well. Alright, this boss is pretty much almost dead. It's not that hard of a boss fight at all. It's like a tutorial Esper boss fight. But the optional Espers, the one you can go all your way to get, are a lot harder, let me tell you. We will be going after all of them, but just sit tight on that one, because I may die several times just trying to get some of those out of the way Espers, except for maybe Zalera. That one, as long as you got Karaja, isn't too bad. But there we go. We have unlocked our first esper in this game.
In vain glory they arose, shouting challenges at the gods, but prevail they did not. Their doom it was to walk the mist until time's end. A legend of the Nemo.
My family tells a story of the Dynast King and an esper. The story goes that in his youth, the Dynast King defeated a mighty Gigas, for which the gods took heed of him. Thereafter, it was ever bound to him in thraldom.
So, all this time it's been here guarding the Dynast King's treasure?
Not so. The esper is the Dynast King's treasure.
That's your treasure?
In this esper we now command rests a power whose worth is beyond any measure.
Is that so? Call me old-fashioned, but I was hoping for a treasure whose worth we could measure.
Alright, so after the fight is done, you can go ahead and collect the spoils like I did here. One of them contained an elixir. One of those rare items that you should probably use only in case of emergency. But now I think we can finally obtain the Dawn Shard here. After all this traveling. You know what? Going through Wraithwall's tomb is a hell of a lot shorter than going through the Sand Sea, which was like, had to be like, what, 5-6 parts? That was just obnoxiously long.
What's wrong?
Your Majesty, we must go.
What? Vossler. You will be avenged.
And for some reason, Vaughn can see Vossler's ghost. I'm not sure why, but you can see him, just like Ash could. Well, I mean, Ash has more of an emotional tie to him, considering that they were newlywed. You know, but by the time he died, by the time he died in battle, he was a COW. Alright, we finally got the Dawn Shard, and there's not really much else left to do except to skedaddle here. Thankfully though, we have a waystone that can show us the bridge basically all the way back to the exit. Alright, and we are just about to get on out of here. We got that Dawn Shard, now we can finally be on our merry way. Oh, but this, warp crystal is not allowing us to warp out of here. I wonder why that is. Dun dun dun. Plot happens, that's why.
Such a tremendous honor to again be graced with your presence, Majesty. You left us with such great dispatch upon our last encounter that I must confess I had begun to worry that we may have given your Majesty some cause for offense.
Such a heartfelt display of remorse. Now what is it you want?
I want you to give me the Nethicite.
The Nethicite?
That is a base imitation. We seek Wraithwald's legacy, the ancient relics of the Dynast King. Day-effective Nethicite. Did you not tell them, Captain Azalus?
Majesty, he speaks of the Dawn Shard. That is the Nethicite.
Are you mad, Vossler?
If we are to save Dalmasca, we must accept the truth. I will fight this profitless battle no more.
Captain Azalus has struck a wise bargain. In return for the Dawn Shard, the Empire will permit Lady Ash to reclaim her throne, and the Kingdom of Dalmasca will be restored. Think on it. An entire kingdom for a stone. You must admit, 'tis more than a fair exchange.
And when all is said and done, your master will have another pet.
Lady Ash, let us take him for the people of Dalmasca. Your Majesty wallows in indecision on peril of their heads. And his shall be the first to fall.
Well, at least your sword is to the point.
To think the relics of the Dynast King were day-effective Nethicite, Dr. Sid will be beside himself.
What did you say?
Captain Azalus, take them to Shiva. They should have leave to return to Rabanasta soon. I want you to assess its power.
And pretty much
Did
for the
our
second
orders not
time this
specify that
game.
we return
Well,
the stone for
I
testing?
guess you can
I
third
will
time.
not
I
chance
guess if you
returning
count.
with a stone that is yet unproven.
I guess technically you can count as a third time. We are held captive by the Imperials.
When we return to Dalmasca, we can announce that you are alive and well. I will then continue our negotiations with the Empire. I believe Lars is the key. He'll listen to us. We should trust him.
Who are you, Vossler, to talk of trust?
A son of Dalmasca.
Our equipment here is limited, so we'll be using the ship's drive to make our assessment. Once we've connected the stone, the reaction should be easily measured.
Methods do not interest me, only results.
Oh, someone's going crazy.
Such heat. The mist
For
is
some reason, I'm guessing it's because she's a Viera that she gets affected
6800,
by
6900,
the changes in
7000.
mist.
This must be Dare Factor
Considering they're very
The count
sensitive to
still
them, I'm
climbs.
assuming that's the reason. Because the Dawn Shard is radiating a lot of mist,
The power of the
and
Dynast King
it
in
could
my
potentially
hands.
drive Vieira's
Blood alone
insane.
does not an emperor make, Vayne.
That's the gist of what I got out of that so far.
What is it? You stand.
Hold her down!
Look how long those fingernails are. God damn.
What's wrong with her?
I always knew Fran didn't take well to being tied up. I just never knew how much. How about you?
I like Fran's idea. Let's get out of here.
No farther!
Alright, now we got a boss
Pirates.
battle against Vossler.
The future of Dalmasca will
And he
not
will
be
have some
stolen.
backup with them, although the backup isn't particularly strong. At least nothing nothing that we haven't already fought before.
Why do this, Bash? This struggle is futile. You must know where it leads.
I do know. All too well.
Alright, and we also got the Nightmare, something that I was not quite sure for the first time around what that was, but I'm going to assume it's a knight's. I believe it was a knight's sword that you can equip. I'm not sure if you can equip it to everyone yet or not. But I remember having pretty low attack, like around 30 attack power. I'm assuming it's like one of the first knight swords you can get. I'm not sure if that, if it's like you have to get like a certain license to get the Nightmare weapon, or is it something that only everyone can equip. That's just the one thing I'm not 100% sure on, but I will get to that next part, or if Eternal can shed some light on the Nightmare weapon that I just got from Vossler, that'd be nice. But once again, the Blood Sword is actually really nice here because Sap can just decimate him pretty quickly. The only reason why it's taking me a little bit longer because of Protect, and in fact I also have some backup to deal with. Slow definitely helps out as well. Prevents Vossler from getting as many turns as he would like. When he's about, I think, 1/3 of his health, maybe less than that, he'll cast Enrage, which allows him to score 7 to 9 hits, just about every time. Which is almost the equivalent to casting Haste and Berserk on yourself. Here's Enrage. Now he's about to lay the smacketh down. He also has counter too, so that's another thing. That's also racking up the damage. Because look how much damage Bosch is taking. And he really has it out for him. Look at that. Alright, just a few more hits and he's dead. Yeah, look at that. He scored. The fucker scored like 8 hits right there. And that's it for Vossler.
Engine power falling rapidly. Each negative. Impossible.
Engine room, this is the bridge. Report.
What are they doing down there?
Happened?
The Nemesis draining the ship's power.
Disengage it at once.
I want that
We're
number
trying to
3
go
million
get
seal.
it.
Let me in on it.
Reach critical in 300. Cascade failure.
Ash, let's go.
All I have done, I've I've ever thought of Dalmasca first.
I know you do. I would ne'er gainsay your loyalty.
Look on what my haste has wrought. Did I act too quick? Or was your return too late? I can serve her no more. You must take up my charge.
This might get a little dicey.
Mist. It manifests now.
Is that what you call this?
What's that?
I think it's the dawn shard.
What are we waiting for?
The dreadnought Leviathan is sunk. The 8th Fleet of the Arcadian Imperial Army lost. As word of the events in the yacht sounded throughout the Empire, quit I Bujeba, citing sudden malady. My true motive, to bring the various counter-imperial forces scattered throughout Ivalice together in unified resistance. By this time, Lady Ash had made her return to Rabanastre. She had not, however, made known her presence. Rather, she was content with keeping both her own whereabouts and those of the Don Shard concealed. Had she chosen then to go before her people, my error in announcing her suicide would be known, to the great detriment of my efforts to assemble a resistance. In such circumstance as the Lady Ash then found herself, even were she to proclaim Dalmasca restored, it would serve only to invite the Empire's wrath. Though Arcadia had lost her 8th Fleet, she remained, as ever, a military power with which to be reckoned.
The Rosarian Empire assembles a vast host under guise of martial exercises. It is our belief they wait for the proper pretext, the sooner to make their strike against Arcadia.
The loss of Leviathan and her fleet at such a time comes as a most grievous blow. Were Rosaria to invade, the battle would be hard fought. Had Lord Vane not deployed the fleet so capriciously, we would not now find ourselves in such perilous circumstance.
Lord Vane shall be made to answer for his actions. It is the will of the Senate. Excellency, though he be your son, justice must be served.
A convenient thing, justice. And so I must now make a choice.
between my throne and my son.
A most lamentable situation for us all.
Oh? For Lord Vane, perhaps. Yet surely Lord Larsa will make for a fine emperor.
Larsa so adores his brother, and he is yet young.
But he will not remain young forever. Already he busies himself unraveling Lord Vane's tangled skein. Lord Larsa has found his role to play and pursues it with some enthusiasm.
Ah, yes. And who would set him at such tasks?
What matter? Lord Vane himself once saw his elder brothers brought to like justice, did he not? At your Excellency's behest,
As I recall.
You may put yourself at ease, Lord Gramis. So long as the Senate watches over her, Arcadia's well-being will ever be ensured.
By your will, I shall bid Vane return to Arcades.
So, it was the Dawn Shard that brought down the Imperial fleet.
You know your stuff.
Destructive power of such force. I've seen it once before. Lady Ash, you know of what I speak.
Nabudis.
The capital of Old Nebradia, Lord Rassler's fatherland. At the time of the invasion, a division of Imperials entered the city. There was a mighty explosion. Friend and foe died alike. Something was there. One of the Dynast King's relics. The Midlight Shard was in Nebradia.
More Nethicite. Well, no wonder they invaded.
That ridiculous war. The trap at the treaty signing. All this because Vane wanted power. He must not be allowed to claim the Nethicite. The Empire must never hold it.
Oh, they already do. The Dusk Shard? Most likely the Midlight Shard, too. Besides, can't they manufacture Nethicite now?
Very well. Then the path set before us is clear. We'll use the Dawn Shard to fight them. Dalmasca does not forget kindness, nor ill deed done. With sword in hand, she aids her allies. Sword in hand, she lays to rest her foes. This Nethicite I hold must be my sword. I will avenge those who have died, and the Empire will know remorse.
You even know how to use it?
The Garif may know. The Garif people live by the old ways. Magicite lore is a part of their culture. They may hear it, the cry of the Nethicite's power. Whispers of the stone's menace.
Dangerous though it be, what we need now is power. Should we declare Dalmasca free without the means to defend our claim, the Empire would crush us. You must take me to meet with the Garif.
They live beyond Osman Plain.
Not exactly close.
Compensation, is that what you want?
Straight to the point, aren't we? I like that. Compensation. How about the ring?
This? Isn't there something else?
No one's forcing you.
And for some reason, my my window decided to pause itself. I'm not sure what happened there, but oh well.
I'll give it back to you as soon as I find something more valuable.
What do you mean something more valuable?
Hard to say. I'll know when I find it. What is it you want, Vaughn? What are you looking for?
Me?
And that question
What am I looking
alone
for?
pretty much begs the question, another question. Why is Vaughn even here?
You know.
I mean, him and Penelo are honestly just along for the ride. At least, and Fran and Balthia had played some significance towards the end. The one that has the most plot relevance, honestly, is Ash and Bosch. But that's just a part of the course, though, unfortunately.
So they do. We'll need to head south, past the Giza Plains.
It is the rains now in Giza. The wadis will be swollen with the deluge. Passage may be difficult.
But those
Alright, so our next objective in the next video is going to be going down the Giza
yes?
Plains. And what's different about the Giza Plains is that because of the change in season, the layout is going to be very different as well. So we'll definitely be encountering some new enemies as we go along. There is a couple other things that I'll be doing, though, before we end this part. Pretty much here, I'm going to be buying off some green magic, which, you know, this is an area I could have explored earlier, but since we're showing it off right now for the first time, I might as well just show it off here. Here, I'm just going to buy off some green magic, the ones I can buy at the moment. And there was a client that we did help out earlier, basically at the beginning of the game, because he said back then he has something interesting for us, and it's basically like monographs. Monographs in this game, if you meet under certain conditions, you can unlock a new monograph, which allows you to get more of the same loot from certain species of monsters. Which is nice, if you like to go loot grinding and all. So we're just selling our stuff at the moment, not too much going on there. But yeah, the only accessories you can buy there is the gauntlets. There'll be way better accessories for us to get later on down the road. And now you remember Ghastly? Ghastly? I almost said Ghastly, like the Pokemon Ghastly. But it's Ghastly. Basically, what you gotta do is to go to any shop, go to the bazaar, and now we've just obtained the, I think it was just a hunter's monograph. I believe that's what it's called, where I think you get better drops from beast-like enemies. But we are going to end the part here. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time.